It's one of those days. Good morning, it's nearly afternoon, that doesn't matter. Today it is October the 5th. We're going to go today to Chester to get some travel vaccinations because we're going on a very special adventure soon. Woo!
Woo!
She sounds enthusiastic, doesn't she? Honestly, she's very enthusiastic, but she's driving, so we'll leave her to it. Neither of us really like vaccinations. We're also going to have to talk about malaria tablets, all of that kind of jazz. So we've got a bit of a drive because GP surgeries aren't carrying a lot of vaccinations. There's a shortage of Hep A and B, I think. I don't know if we need those, we'll find out, and I guess we'll catch up with you when we see you next. Ow, that's sharp. That's not as bad as you made it out to be. Do I get a sticker after as well for being a good girl?
Well, we've got one more to go, so it depends how good you are. Take one for your key.
Oh, I like the dinosaur. I'm gonna have the I was brave today. Thank you.
I was brave today.
I was brave today. We've had our injections, yay.
Hepatitis A.
Tetanus, typhoid. We didn't have to have yellow fever, so that's good. And we haven't had to have any malaria tablets yet because laws are changing of where it's high risk at the end of this month. So we're going to have to wait and hopefully we'll figure something out. But yeah, this one screamed like a baby. Actually, my arm's hurting holding this camera up a little bit. But yeah, we're doing £214 we've just paid, which is probably nearly how much one of our plane tickets has cost to get to Sri Lanka in the first place. So. Update time, welcome. We're back at the caravan now, got my glasses on, got changed, still got my little sticker on.
I didn't even get a sticker.
You didn't ask for a sticker, that's why you didn't get one. Yeah, so we're back and we thought we'd give you a little update. Our arms are aching now. Like really aching. Mum had to drive back in a really quite bad traffic, and yeah, her gear stick arm is really hurting, which is the same arm. I'm left-handed and it's my like dominant arm is the worst one, so we'll update you if it hurts anymore, if it gets better or whatever. It's probably not that interesting, but you might want to know if sorry. Morning folks, it's the next day, which is why I look like this. Both of our arms are still hurting is the update, and sleeping on either one side wasn't really a good idea. So if you're going to get injections, just bear that in mind. Maybe wrap yourself in bubble wrap, that'd be a good idea. Alright, thanks, bye. Today we're trying to do our Indian visas, our e-visas. Boy oh boy is it difficult. Everything we found online, it's near enough impossible. Mum's pulling her hair out, bless her. We've just taken, she's looking at me like, we've just taken some photos against a white background. We're surrounded by caravans, so for us that worked out fairly well. And we're just really struggling to get all the information we need. We're worried that we haven't got all the information we need and we're not going to be let into the country. So we'll see how it goes. We're using e-visas instead of the normal send off in the post kind of visas because we don't think we'll get our passports back in time to go to Turkey. We need our passports to go to Turkey. It's all a bit crazy at the moment and a bit fed up of trying to sort out visas now. Apparently all the other countries we're going to are fairly easy when it comes to visas, but India is a bit of a pain in the arse, so we're looking forward to getting there, but at the moment I don't think either of us are going. We'll update you soon. We're actually in Sri Lanka, so we've had our visas sorted for Sri Lanka and for India. The Sri Lankan visa for me was quite difficult to sort out. Eventually I got it sorted. I'm not exactly sure what the problem was, but that is sorted. We've also had our Indian visas sorted, where you have to include a picture. The last clip we were trying to take pictures on blank backgrounds, but that's mine. Very exciting. With these visas we did have to pay for them. I think the Indian visas, if you send them off in the post, like I've previously mentioned, I think you might be able to get it done for free. I'm not 100% sure on that though, I'll be honest. The next thing I mentioned was malaria tablets, which overall we don't need, which is great news. In the meantime, we're using citronella things, we're using mosquito protection things, everything that you can do basically to prevent even getting bitten. There are different types of malaria tablets, so if you are going to a place that malaria is a high risk and you should be taking tablets, there are cheaper versions and more expensive versions. It turns out that we're actually allergic to the cheaper versions, So that could be something that you need to check if you're allergic to any kind of like antibiotics or any kind of medicines. Check that before you start taking them, because you don't want to get a bad reaction. The other thing I was going to show you was the different medications and stuff that we take. This is a very extensive bag of all sorts of things. One of the main things we've bought are water purification tablets. I think one tablet does a litre of water, possibly. These are amazing and they're really cheap online. We also have wonderful things like Diorolite to sort out inside bodily functions if we get any problems. We always have copious amounts of paracetamols, ibuprofens, or ibuprofens, antihistamines as well, which are good for allergies, but as well as like things like calming down sunburn or mosquito bites. They're really good if you're struggling quite a lot. It's good to have these handy anyway. We've got something called Dialimit. I think that's also something to do with diarrhea. I'm not 100%. I'm just hoping I don't have to use these. Literally we're a walking pharmacy basically. Like anything that you need, we've probably got it in here. There's also websites that can give you information, give you tips on what things you should be taking, and I'll put those down below. Also, you should probably want to sort out some kind of travel insurance if you don't have it already. If you're in another country, you really should be protected on that kind of front, because anything could happen really. And we're in Sri Lanka, we're going to India, we're going to Nepal, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, if I haven't said that already, and Malaysia. We're in India for 2 months, so throughout that time we'll be continuing to plan where we want to stay, the other places that we also want to go to. The visas in the other countries are a lot easier to obtain compared to India in particular. I hope this video has kind of given you some advice, possibly, a bit of an insight, probably not very much, as to different things you can plan. Stay tuned because there's exciting videos ahead. Right, we'll see you next time. Until then, have a nice life. Goodbye.